Hey someone, so got a lot of mind on my mind, got a lot on my heart, and I want to step a little further into my ministry because I do believe that God is calling me sooner into my ministry, in the sense of there is no perfect date, there is no preparation, there is no time. The enemy is lurking and it is never too soon. And I have a lot of thoughts in my mind for how I want to walk through moving forward. I thought it was going to take a little longer, but I'm starting to see that God is presenting me with a lot of situations where the enemy needs to be exposed. And the forms that I want to put it in, the ways I want to say it, it can't wait. It's not worth a wait, because the enemy is always going to be the op from now to our day's end, as we know it on this earth, while I'm in this body as this vessel that God called me to be. We dealing with the number one adversary, and it ain't a joke. I'm seeing the enemy move in relationships in all forms, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. The places where you can pinpoint how this thing is moving. And we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against spiritual authorities in high places. So please believe the devil got an army. There's so much that we need to learn about how to be aware, take note of, call out, rebuke, and defeat the enemy. And so when I allow God to guide me and he does things in my life, or he makes things happen, you can plan, but God has a plan all of his own. And I'm going to let him drive the boat. I'm going to let him take the wheel. So, I don't know. I just feel like things are about to happen in a different way than I expected or anticipated, because of what God is showing me in my life right now. And we need to be careful of how the enemy uses us, and how he uses us to think wrong of people, how he uses us to do the wrong thing, how he gets in our minds and convinces us of things. Understand that when the enemy chooses someone to attack, he's now jumping into that person and causing a chain reaction, because now that person is going to do something that affects another person, and that person is going to be affected. And let's say you picked a righteous man or woman of God who will not react negatively because they're strong enough to know who their God is, but then they are affected by what's going on, and it's sitting in their spirit. And of course, they're having to pray and call out on God. But what the enemy just did was he transferred energy into another vessel and caused strife. And pain is not an emotion that often leads to spreading joy, spreading the word, spreading the good news, unless you recognize what the enemy is trying to do and you counter it. So I'm building up the people God sent me to touch spiritually, to say the attack on the enemy must prevail. The attack on the enemy, the defeat is in tow. Because we not about to just keep watching ourselves get beat up. And we not about to keep being fooled into thinking what's ours is not ours. God made the promise and God gave us the promises. So it's time for us to wake up and start fighting back, because there's many adversaries and enemies at play. This is the biggest one. We're not going to never get this target off our back voluntarily. So we got to beat the devil down until kingdom come. Stay prayed up. More to come.